The year is 1812. A young United States, barely 3 decades old, finds itself in a bitter struggle with Great Britain. The issues are complex maritime rights, trade restrictions, and the impressment of American sailors. For years, the United States had endured these humiliations. But a new generation of American leaders, fueled by national pride, argued that the time for diplomacy had passed. War, they declared, was the only honorable course. On June 18, 1812, President James Madison signed a declaration of war against Great Britain. The news was met with mixed emotions across the fledgling nation. Some questioned the wisdom of challenging the world's most powerful empire. Others embraced the conflict as a necessary test of American resolve. Among them were the men of the United States Navy, eager to prove their mettle on the high seas. British warships quickly established a blockade along the American coast. Yet amidst the gloom, a glimmer of hope emerged: the USS Constitution, commanded by Isaac Hull. The USS Constitution, nicknamed Old Ironsides, was one of the original 6 frigates authorized by the Naval Act of 1794. She was a formidable warship for her time, a 44-gun frigate displacing over 1,500 tons. Her hull, reinforced with diagonal riders, was designed to withstand punishing broadsides. Her captain, Isaac Hull, was a seasoned officer with a reputation for courage and seamanship. In July 1812, with the war barely a month old, Constitution sailed from Chesapeake Bay. Her mission to harass British shipping in the North Atlantic and, if the opportunity arose, to engage and defeat an enemy warship. The crew, a mix of experienced sailors and eager young recruits, were spoiling for a fight. They had heard tales of British arrogance and brutality on the high seas. Now they were determined to show the world that the United States Navy, though small, was a force to be reckoned with. The vast expanse of the North Atlantic has long been a theater for naval encounters. On the afternoon of August 19, 1812, the USS Constitution, under Captain Isaac Hull, encountered a British frigate off the coast of Nova Scotia. The British ship, identified as HMS Garter, was commanded by Captain James Richard Dacre. The Guerriere, a 38-gun frigate, was slightly smaller than Constitution, but still a formidable opponent. Both captains, recognizing the opportunity for a decisive engagement, prepared their ships for battle. The tension was palpable as the two ships, their flags snapping in the wind, closed the distance between them. The first exchange of cannon fire shattered the tense silence. Smoke billowed, the air filled with the acrid smell of gunpowder, and the deafening roar of the guns reverberated across the waves. Hull, a master tactician, maneuvered Constitution to exploit the wind and gain a favorable position. He had trained his gun crews relentlessly, drilling them on accuracy and speed. Dacres, initially confident of victory, found himself outmaneuvered by the American frigate. Constitution's gunnery was devastatingly accurate. Broadside after broadside slammed into Guerriere, crippling her rigging, shattering her masts, and inflicting heavy casualties. The battle raged for over an hour, a furious exchange of cannon fire, musketry, and deafening roars. Through the smoke and carnage, the two captains, Hull and Dacres, directed their ships and crews with unwavering resolve. As the battle reached its climax, a remarkable phenomenon became apparent to both crews. British cannonballs, fired from Guerriere, seemed to bounce harmlessly off Constitution's hull. The American frigate, her stout oak timbers reinforced with iron straps, seemed impervious to the enemy's fire. "Huzzah! Her sides are made of iron!" shouted a Constitution crewman, his voice barely audible above the din of battle. The cry was taken up by others, spreading throughout the ship like wildfire. Old Ironsides, they roared, their voices filled with a mixture of awe and exultation. The nickname, born in the heat of battle, would forever be associated with the USS Constitution. With Guerriere crippled and taking on water rapidly, Captain Dacre had no choice but to surrender. He struck his colors, the British flag fluttering down from the stump of her mainmast. The American crew, their cheers echoing across the now still waters, had won a stunning victory. Guerriere, too badly damaged to be salvaged, was set ablaze and sank beneath the waves. Constitution suffered only 7 killed and 7 wounded, while Guerriere sustained 15 killed and 63 wounded. The victory of USS Constitution over HMS Garter sent shockwaves through both nations. In the United States, news of the victory was met with jubilation. It was a much-needed boost to American morale, proof that the young nation could stand toe-to-toe with the mighty Royal Navy and emerge victorious. The victory also validated the wisdom of investing in a strong navy, a lesson that would not be lost on American leaders.